cut your coat according to your size, because your size might be big, but your material might not be enough. You don't want to sew a jumper. So because of that, I encourage you to cut your coat according to your material. The average tuition fee for an international student in the United States is about $30,000. That is a whooping sum of money if you ask me. It is one of the reasons why a lot of international students actually abandon their dream to study in the United States. I was once in that position. Like, I abandoned that dream for over 6 years because I thought that I needed to have like $30,000 stashed away in a bank account before I could even attempt to apply to a school. So back then I had collected prospectus from a lot of schools. I kept reading about them and I saw the amount of fees that was being requested. I tried for UK, I tried for the United States, and I'm like, oh no, how long is it going to take me to work to save enough money to be able to afford this tuition fee? So I totally killed that dream. So I don't want you to be like that, and so because of that, I will be sharing with you today how I paid my fees as an international student and graduated with $0. Yes, you don't necessarily need to have like $30,000 or so saved up somewhere. If you have it, good for you, and if you don't have it, it is not a reason why you should not consider studying in the United States. And I tell you, it's a beautiful experience. Even if you don't have funding, like I didn't have funding when I started, I didn't have anything. I'll tell you all the things that I did that helped me to graduate by the grace of God with $0. Don't go anywhere, I'll be right back. So as an international student in the United States, if you're going to be self-funded, one of the things I encourage you to do is to cut your coat according to your material. Like my people will say, don't cut your coat according to your size, because your size might be big, but your material might not be enough. You don't want to sew a jumper. So because of that, I encourage you to cut your coat according to your material. And what I mean by this is research schools that are within your capacity to finance. Don't go and research Ivy League schools that are like in the hundreds of Ks and like that you will not be having hope that something somewhere will happen. You get, there are some schools in the United States that for the entire duration, especially for master's degree program, they might not be more than 20K. So start with those kind of schools, apply to them. You can apply to 3, 4, or 5 of them. Search for those schools. I know that some people have dreams of this is the school I want to go and all of that. If you want to go to that school, do you have the money for that school? Is the school going to finance it? Are they going to give you scholarship? If they're not going to give you scholarship, just generally go to the one that you can afford. Another thing I encourage you to do is to have some form of personal savings. This is one of the ways through which I paid my school fees, and I'm explaining to you. So when you're coming into school, like in my case, I didn't have funding like I mentioned, and when I was coming, I was required to pay the first installment of my school fees, which was about 33% in the first month. At that point, I didn't even have a job yet. Coming into school, how would I have been able to pay the 3%? Was I expecting manna to fall from heaven? So it was with some of the personal savings that I had that I was able to pay for that first, until I eventually got a job. So that's why I encourage you, before you come, have a reasonable amount of savings. And if you already set your mind that you want to school in the United States, if you give yourself a 1-year goal, try to save a reasonable amount of money. Lock it somewhere that you don't even have access to. That's how I encourage people to save money. Lock your funds somewhere in a place that you don't even have an ATM card to go withdraw from time to time. So have that stashed away, so that by the time you are ready to come into school, you can have that to offset the initial bills that you need to take care of before you start gathering money from other funds. So that's number one source of paying for your school fees: personal savings. Number 2 is your graduate assistant job. So as an international student in the United States, you are allowed to work 20 hours on campus alone. There are some special cases where your international student office would approve for you to work off campus or for 40 hours. There are some special cases, yeah, like if they've evaluated your condition, your need, and they realize that, oh, the only way you can survive is for you to take a job outside campus. If you petition, they can allow you. But the norm is for you to work 20 hours on campus. And the average rates that students earn on campus is like from $15 and above is how much students earn. So if you're earning $15 per month, sometimes that's around $1,200 monthly. From here, you will pay your house rent, you will pay your phone bill, you pay your insurance if you have a car, if you have rental insurance, you pay that. A lot of other things from your bills. One of the ways through which I was able to pay my school fees was from my graduate assistant job. So every month I was paid a salary that I was dividing between all of my expenses and offsetting my tuition fee. So even if it's a small amount of money, you are able to pay from it little by little. So this is something that you should know and something that you should look forward to having. Another means of paying for your school fees, and one that I adopted, was using a credit card. So I mentioned this also in one of my videos where I shared about things that you should do when you initially come into the United States. If you've not watched the video, I'll link it up here and in the description box, so check it out. Get a credit card, guys. And like I said, in the United States, credit card is a normal part of the system, so don't have this negative mindset towards it. As a student, you can be advanced some small amount of money, but if you use your credit card well, your credit can be extended, can be increased. So this credit card would come in very handy. You can get one, you can get two. The important thing is to ensure that you are making your minimum payments before and as at when due. Don't pay them late, because when you pay late, a lot of interest accrue, and that is more expensive for you to settle. So with your credit card, you're able to also support yourself and pay your school fees whenever they come up. But this will be possible if your school fees is affordable initially. If you have to pay a school fees of like 100k, I don't know how this will be possible, because as a student, I'm not sure they can give you a 20k. That's why I mentioned initially that you should start with a school that is very affordable. Another way through which you can pay your fee as an international student is to take advantage of scholarship and grants, which is one of the things that I did. And a way for you to tap into this is to join professional associations. Say for instance, you're studying engineering on campus, an engineering related course on campus, or STEM related course on campus, you can join NSB, that is the National Society of Black Engineers, if you are black. On NSB, if you go on their website, they have like different scholarships that come up from time to time. Some are for like 1k, 1.5, 3,000, 5,000. So don't think that, oh, this amount of money are small, like 1k, how much is 1k? The thing is, by the time you're able to gather from this source, from this source, from this source, before you know, they all come together to make sense. And even if it's 1,000 you're able to offset from your school fees at a point in time, it is still something. So always look out for those opportunities, ask around. Also, you should regularly check out the scholarship page of your school, see opportunities that come up for students, which is one of the things that I did and helped me to get scholarship that helped me to offset my school fees. I didn't know about it initially, so luckily for me, I was in the midst of students, and one day they were discussing this opportunity. I'm like, are you serious? And I did not know. So that's the thing, when you're on campus, a lot of information will be passing and you might not get to know. That's why it's important for you to connect with other people, to always ask for information, connect to people that are similar to you, because there might be opportunities that apply to your group that might not apply if you fall into another group of people. So with this, I was able to apply for that scholarship and I got it, and a lot of people have also enjoyed it, and it's a good amount of money, a very substantial amount of money. Also, from time to time, there might be grants coming up in your school based on different situations that are happening. Always be on the lookout for this. So this is one of the ways through which you can also pay your fees as an international student. Before I mention the last point on my list today, I want to bring to your notice again, guys, be very wary of side hustles as an international student in the United States. Most of them are not legal, and you might think that you're getting away with it now, but eventually, you know, records are being kept, and maybe it's at the time you want to move to a more permanent status that those things will catch up with you. So avoid them as much as you can. Ensure that you earn your income legally and in the allowed measure. Don't try to overwork your time. You're allowed to work 20 hours. Don't try to work more than 20 hours without approval. Ensure that everything that you're doing is documented. So the last thing I'll be mentioning today is through internship salary. This is one of the ways that I was also able to pay my school fees. For some schools, as a master's degree student, you are allowed to go for internship after your first semester, which was the same in my own school. We're allowed to go for internship after 2 semesters was when we're allowed to go for internship. Some schools will allow you to go for internship after the first semester, but I think ours was after 2 semesters. So you should find out what applies in your school. So from your internship, you know, now you'll be able to work full-time. You are no longer working on campus, you are working with an organization in the United States. So at that point, you are usually paid a higher rate and you are able to work for more time. So you'll be able to earn good amounts of money during this time. With your internship salary, whatever school fees or tuition fee that you have even accrued, you would most likely be able to offset that if your school fees is reasonably affordable, which is why I mentioned before that your school fees should be affordable. If your school fees is not affordable, I don't know the internship salary that you want to earn that you will use to clear it. So ensure that your school fees is reasonably affordable. So look out for internships, and that's one of the things that you should begin to prepare yourself for in your first semester when you come. Try to gather the skills, try to network, try to submit your resume to different organizations to help you in securing an internship internship offer, and hopefully you get a return offer for a full-time position after graduation. Yes, so all of these are things that I adopted, and with all of this I was able to graduate with $0, to the glory of God. And I tell you, there's nothing as relieving as graduating with $0, because at that point you don't want to start working and be thinking about one loan that you have somewhere. I personally don't like loans. As much as possible, I try to do only loans when they are very, very unavoidable and it is for a productive purpose, that I know that, oh, whatever I'm earning from this place can cover the servicing of the loan that I've taken. If not, I try to avoid it as much as possible. So that is my encouragement to you guys today. You don't abandon your US dream because you feel like you don't have $30,000 stashed away somewhere. Just have reasonable amount of savings to start with, and look out for all these opportunities that I've mentioned to offset your school fees, your tuition fees, and all other fees as you go through your program. And at the end of the day, a lot of people have done it that have also graduated with $0. I believe that you will also be able to do the same. I hope that you have enjoyed this video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more valuable videos like this. Ensure that you like this video so that YouTube can push it to more students out there, so a lot of people can go back to their dreams and start the journey just like you are going to do. I believe so. All right guys, until I come your way again next time, keep winning, and don't forget to join our Telegram community. The link will be in the description box below. Take care guys. Bye.